Harlem Hospital, founded in 1887 in central Harlem, New York City, began not as a grand public building, but as a modest three-story house serving as an outpost of Bellevue Hospital. Its mission was to meet the medical needs of Harlem's rapidly growing population. As the neighborhood transformed, especially with the Great Migration bringing waves of African Americans in search of better opportunities, Harlem became a hub of cultural and social change. From 1910 to 1930, during the Harlem Renaissance, it flourished as the epicenter of Black cultural life, even as racial segregation continued to plague healthcare. Black physicians were often denied privileges and Black patients received unequal treatment. Yet Harlem Hospital began to break down barriers, hiring its first Black doctor and establishing a training program for Black interns, an important step in the fight for racial equity in medicine. This commitment to representation and empowerment extended beyond healthcare and into the arts. During the Great Depression, the federal government launched the Works Progress Administration (WPA) to provide jobs, including for artists, through the Federal Art Project. In Harlem, this initiative offered a rare opportunity for Black artists to receive public commissions and to visually express the pride, struggles, and cultural richness of their community. Harlem Hospital would become one of the few institutions to embrace this vision fully, commissioning powerful murals from African American artists. These murals, still present today, stand as vibrant testaments to the neighborhood's history and resilience, and to the hospital's role not only in healing bodies but in affirming Black identity through art. Georgette was born in Charleston, South Carolina on August 2, 1916. In the 1930s, she was among several artists commissioned by the WPA to paint murals for Harlem Hospital. But the hospital's administrator rejected several proposed murals. The director of the hospital said he didn't want any Black faces in the murals. Among his reasons was his claim that Blacks might not form the greater part of the community in 25 years.
The director of the hospital said he didn't want any Black faces on the walls.
Members of the Harlem Arts Guild staged protests. The story hit the press, and the hospital bosses relented.
He said a couple of people didn't live there, and most everyone admitted to Harlem Hospital.
Georgette painted her murals. She felt strongly that her work portrayed the people she saw around her. It was a mixture of people, at that time mainly Black and white. Not to exclude other cultures, but Harlem looked very Black and white at that time. In 2005, Harlem Hospital announced the murals would be restored and displayed prominently in a $225 million expansion wing beginning in 2011.
We made history.
You did make history.
In many ways, you know.
But over the decades, Paul's mural was neglected, damaged, and eventually hidden behind hospital renovations. By the early 2000s, Harlem Hospital realized the murals were not just decorations. They're historic, cultural landmarks, visual records of Harlem's identity. A careful restoration process began. First, conservators delicately removed the murals from the walls, stabilizing crumbling plaster and cleaning years of dirt and neglect. But some works, including Powell's, were too damaged to restore in their digital form. So experts turned to technology. They created high-resolution digital scans, enhancing faded colors and reconstructing missing details. These images were then printed onto large glass panels, preserving the murals' vibrant stories while protecting them for the future. In 2012, as part of $325 million hospital expansion, Powell's mural was reinstalled in the new mural pavilion, now standing proudly for all to see.
Born in 1907, Charles Alston was an important African-American artist, teacher, and activist. He was born in North Carolina but grew up in Harlem, New York during the Harlem Renaissance. Alston studied at Columbia University, where he earned both a bachelor's and master's degree in art. He worked in many forms of art, including painting, sculptures, and murals, often focusing on African-American life and social issues. One of Alston's most significant contributions came through his work on the Harlem Hospital murals. These murals were titled Magic in Medicine and Modern Medicine. Magic in Medicine highlights the spiritual and folk healing practices rooted in African American traditions. In this mural, Alston depicts traditional healers, ritual symbols, and elements like drums and herbs, showing how African and African American communities have long relied on spiritual knowledge and natural remedies for healing. In contrast, Modern Medicine focuses on the progress of medical science and its impact on the Harlem community. This mural presents a hospital scene with African American doctors and nurses actively treating patients surrounded by modern medical tools and technology. The image reflects not only the professionalism and advancement of Black medical practitioners, but also the growing access to institutional health care for African Americans during the 20th century. Together, these murals create a powerful visual dialogue between past and present, honoring both the deep cultural roots of healing and the advancements of modern medicine. Alfred Creamy was an Italian-American artist known for his work as a muralist and painter. He immigrated to the United States from Italy as a child and settled in New York City. One of Creamy's murals that is inside Harlem Hospital is titled Modern Surgery and Anesthesia, which reflects the intersection of art, science, and public service. Modern Surgery and Anesthesia depicts a highly organized and sanitized operating room scene. In the mural, doctors and nurses work with intense focus as they perform surgery. Using the latest medical instruments and surrounded by modern equipment, the composition highlights the precision, discipline, and teamwork involved in medical procedures, showcasing the advancements in surgical techniques and the critical role in anesthesia in making complex operations possible. Restoration of Harlem Hospital's murals and architecture is a testament to how thoughtful design can preserve history while embracing the future. By blending art, architecture, and community, this project breathes new life into a space that stands as both a healing center and a cultural landmark. Harlem's story is now etched not just in memory, but in the very walls that surround it.